Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the channel. If you're returning, thank you for your support, you guys, your continued likes, you're sticking by my channel, even if I'm not posting videos, or even if your reading didn't resonate. I appreciate that. You know, it means a lot to me, and it helps get these messages out to more people. So I've been recuperating, you guys. I had a really intense last month, and a lot of energy, a lot of downloads, a lot of really powerful readings, and a lot of powerful insights for me to contemplate and sort through also. So I'm getting ready to restart a new round of readings, and we're going to try to keep these quicker, and I'm going to just go ahead and do the singing bowl now, and rather than posting a little pre-thing, I'm going to say my little prayer. We're going to take a deep breath, we're going to get into it. We're going to start with Aries. Aries, the first house, the house of physical appearance, traits, characteristics, ego, and the general outlook. So we're starting with Aries, and right now there is quite a bit of important things in Aries. We got Chiron, and we got the North Node. The North Node in Aries right now. So let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. And I'll make it so you can skip over this part too, you guys. It'll be in the description and timestamps. I've also been posting your where you can get your birth chart, some angel numbers, because I'm always looking up angel numbers, you guys. And if an animal comes through or a song while I'm editing your video or during the video and I just don't say it, I'll be posting that also in the description, because every connection you can make to help you along your path is good. So let's take a couple deep breaths, Aries. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance, protection, and unconditional love. I'm grateful for all known and unknown, seen and unseen, divine energy, guiding, protecting us, and allowing us to receive these messages with an open heart and mind. I pray these messages of healing and protection reach those who need them and those who will fully embrace and express their own divine energy for the highest good. As we walk on the path of love, healing, and redemption, may your healing light touch, taint, and transmute all darkness with understanding, acceptance, and faith. In the holy light of love. Amen. Thank you, Spirit. For Aries, I think we need one or more of those. Where is my palette? Alright, guys. Okay. Put that down there. Okay, Aries, hello. Alright, so we are getting ready to do your guys' reading. I have switched decks, which I do usually every round of readings. Taking a few days to kind of let these decks sit and calibrate to the energy, and we are going to go ahead, and I will be using one of my favorite sets of decks, and this is the deck of Clarity, Virtue. I'm not sure if that's the actual name of it, you guys, but I will, well, let me look here. It is called the Gift of Virtue Clarity deck, and I absolutely love this to put under the tarot reading, and it always clarifies and always brings in more information, so I do love that. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and pull. Let's see here. I am using my Philarkos tarot. I love this tarot. It's been a while since I used it, but this is the one I chose for this round. So Aries, what is going on? We're going to get 3 of these. Definitely feeling better, recuperated. Just got a little drained, you guys. Oh, we got that 7 of Wings. Chariot. Okay. And the King of Coral. Wow, this feels like there's a lot of water energy in this. And the Trail of Sparks, which is like the Knight of Wands. And okay, so I feel like there is definitely some kind of goal or some kind of thing you're thinking about, envisioning for yourself, Aries. Something that's emotional, something that it could be even like going towards maybe somebody or something to help. I'm feeling like a helpful energy. But there's also the Seven of Wings here in the past where it's like you felt like, I feel like helpless or something in a situation where you couldn't help or you couldn't change something. And maybe you even kind of like, with the Seven of Wings here, it's like, it feels like you were, it feels like an unraveling. It feels like she's like there's an unraveling of the mind, maybe the way you handled something or the way you need to handle something, because we got the Chariot in the middle, which is getting your mind and your heart all on the same track, going towards something. I feel like this is a much more mature emotional energy, and also could be a helpful emotional energy for somebody else, or this could be somebody you're going towards to help you kind of sort through some things that have been going on in your life. There is a feeling here of feeling like you couldn't do anything, or like a helplessness, but we are going to get some more oracles on this. Well, first we are going to get these word cards under the Seven of Wings, and I do want to read this. Okay, so this book has like really nice definitions, and it says they call him tricky Mercury. So this is, and Mercury is playing with a lot coming up. So this is, and my readings do usually, I don't, it's weird, but like within like 2 weeks, that's when they seem to be more in play. So it's like almost like I'm picking up on energies that are pre like 2 weeks, like a week to 2 weeks. But if it applies now, it applies now, but it might apply here in a couple weeks. If not, that's fine. It's just not your reading. If this resonates though, Mercury is going to be bringing in some, it could be even travel. I mean, with the Chariot here, you could be traveling somewhere, you could be, or feeling like you just recently couldn't, or even maybe even like we're kind of came up with some creative solutions or ideas to plan, prepare, maybe save money, something like that. And it says they call him tricky. Mercury is always so, leading you through endless maddening play. The mind is so. Can you juggle with it and watch your back simultaneously? You are weaving your own wings. How will you use them? So I felt an unraveling, not a weaving. But you could be putting yourself back together out of after a time of feeling like things just, it's like, wow, is this like a joke? Like that kind of energy with the Mercury. It could have been like something just threw you off. This could be something you did yourself. This could be something that happened around you, and you're putting yourself back together to move forward and maybe ground your emotional energy. This could have been something emotional that really like spun your head for a loop, is what I'm getting. So let's get a word under this Seven of Wings, Seven of... There's definitely something here you're looking forward to. I feel like it's something you're looking forward to, something good. Let's see, we got simplicity. You can lead a horse to water but cannot make it drink. State of being easy, straightforward, plain, obvious, or natural. There could have been something here in the past, Aries, a recent past, or that you could be even dealing with this energy now, where you had an opportunity that you may have passed up, or maybe you weren't as straightforward or blunt as you needed to be in a situation, and you were feeling it, and it kind of like threw you for a loop, or it threw things off, is what I'm feeling. And now you're in this place of putting yourself, kind of the mind and the heart back together, because maybe you kind of went against your own grain. I do look at the Seven of Swords, which is kind of what it is. It's kind of a self-sabotaging behaviors. You could have fell back into a place where you didn't do what you could do in a situation, or maybe you took a different route, rather than maybe a simpler route. Maybe you complicated matters, you know, or something like that, and it just made a kind of a little mess, and now you're kind of putting yourself back together, or you're undoing a lot of this behavior in the recent past to get back down to a more simple mindset. It could be either or, you guys. These are general readings. So with the Chariot here, we got adventure. Take the path less traveled. Yes, so trying something different. I feel like maybe in the recent past, you could have done something the same old way. Maybe even after you had told yourself you were going to do something different or something like that. And then it's like you need to step out of the known path. You need to step off of your known ways. These ways are just, feels like old ways just aren't helping you. You're probably realizing this with the Chariot. You just need to put the actions behind the mindset, and vice versa. And it's saying take up the path that's outside of your comfort zone. So you could have really fell into a comfort zone after saying, I'm not, you know, like you could have even been told, hey, do this differently, or don't do this. And maybe you just still chose to do that. Or whether this was stay in a situation, leave a situation, maybe the way you communicated something, because it is swords, or didn't communicate something. Maybe you weren't as blunt or straightforward, and you maybe should have been. You should have been, and it's saying you need to take the path less traveled. And you could be working on that right now. It's like looking at like where you could have made a different choice and it would have led to a different outcome. This could be, and then relevance flew out, and it says all aglow is on the work. Traceable connection between action and meaning, purposeful effort. So you could have really been putting yourself into something or not putting yourself into something. And it's just like either was the same old way, or you should have interacted with something. This could be job, relationship, anything like that, you guys, where it's like really working on connecting to things different and connecting your action and the meaning behind it. So like saying, this is why I'm doing this, or this is the, you know, like being very blunt and straightforward, I'm feeling, is a theme in this reading. So there's a feeling here, an organization under the King of Cups here, a place for everything and everything in its place. You could have gotten even emotional or non-emotional during a vice versa. So like if it's an emotional situation, you didn't show the emotion, or you lacked empathy, or vice versa, it wasn't an emotional situation and it shouldn't have been emotional, and maybe you brought emotions into it, and now you're looking back going, okay, I need to change this. And this could be the King of Cups maturing too, realizing that not everything has to be emotionally involved. It's recognizing the emotions are there, but not feeding into them, not playing into them, not using them as a tool or a strategy. It's just they're there, and you acknowledge that, and you kind of balance out the emotions in the mind is what I'm feeling. And it says the process of ordering objects into patterns to be more easily recognized. Recognizing old patterns and behaviors in yourself, Aries, maybe that, you know, like you could be being shown something new and you just reject it right away because it triggers something emotionally for you, or something like that, where there's a feeling here of recognizing your own like emotional patterns and emotional self-sabotage. So this can be a lot of things. This can be being overly emotional, overly dramatic in times when it's not really that emotional or dramatic. I mean, it could feel that way, but recognizing those patterns in ourselves helps us become more grounded and level, and keeps us moving forward. And it's a huge decision to change that kind of patterned behavior. So if you are doing that, good props to you, because it is hard. It is hard to change those emotional ways we react to things. And you could have even been told, don't be emotional, or don't or speak your mind, but do it in a straightforward way. And maybe you feel like you just could have took a different path, but it just kind of goes against the normal pattern or the normal behavior, if that makes sense, that you're used to. So that's interesting. All right, let's get one of these. And we got the Father, the Emperor. This could be even, and then strength, courage and fortitude, compassion and growth, using your heart over your head. And it says authority, structure, and foundation, analytical, divine masculine. So this could be with a father. This could be in an authoritative figure, bosses, anybody who you see as having authority over you. This could have been something to do with that. And rebuilding your structure and your foundation with authority. How you take advice or don't take advice. Are you always doing what you're told, or are you always rejecting even good advice on ways to do things? So there is a feeling here of reorganizing the way you handle authority, and recognizing the patterns emotionally that it makes you feel, because this could go way back to even childhood or something like that, where you just have like an issue with like that boss figure, or that father figure, or that, and it could even be mother figure, or just whoever kind of ruled the roost, you know. And this could be triggering in your life today, like in work, in friendships, in relationships. And this is the stuff we're all working on, you guys. And this is why I do this kind of stuff, is just to point this stuff out, because we're not we are innocent, but we're not, you know. Once you've been told, and you start doing the inner work, and you start doing self-reflection, you can say, I'm reacting to this because of this trigger, or I'm not reacting to this because of this fear, or whatever it is, you guys. So this is pretty important for you guys, at least the Aries I'm reading for. And determining the relevance of something before you fight for it, or fight, flight, or freeze, you know. So it's being able to face things, obstacles, with heart and head all together on board, facing the obstacle with one clear, organized way of doing things. Not an old way that isn't working, but recognizing the relevance of a situation. So if something is emotional, it's relevant to be emotional. If it's not emotional, it's not relevant to be emotional. Be logical. Really doing that kind of work, and kind of sorting through that stuff with yourself right now, Aries. So there's like proper reaction to situations in your life that will be more beneficial for your movement forward. Oh, that's nice. That's good work. That's hard work. But if that's what you're working on, then keep working on it, because things don't have to be so complicated. Everything's not, how do I put this? Everything's not put in your path to just, I mean, we are triggered by things around us, but we don't have to succumb to them, especially if we realize they're triggers, and it's just us and more healing or more work we got to do on our perception of things, or the way we're taking things. And we got after the storm. That is what I'm feeling with this. Like something has happened, or maybe recently you went, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. So yeah, you could not be feeling too great about some kind of situation that has just passed in your life. It could have been there's some shadow work here. The moon here, the owl, this is wisdom, this is seeing in the dark. This is finding and navigating your way through the shadow self, through the dark, and still coming out victorious, because you're gaining wisdom. You're gaining wisdom about yourself, your own triggers, your own kind of fears, weaknesses, vulnerabilities, anything like that, and it just makes you stronger. You know, I love the owl. If you've been with my channel, you know I love the owl. Some people, it creeps them out, not me. I love the owl, so I am going to read that here shortly. And we are going to go ahead and let's go ahead and get one of these. After the storm. Probably dealing with a new recognition, recognizing something about yourself, about how you can handle things now. You know, that's over, it's done, whatever this is. I feel like it is over and done, and now there's some wisdom to be gained from what you've learned. And it says the home buddy. Affirmation, I enjoy the secure base I have made for myself and my loved ones. This could be around your home, your family. Like I said, an authoritative figure, it could be a partner, it could be anything like that, where it's just like I need to handle, get myself together before I approach something, do something different than I'm used to doing, to create a different pattern, or a different way of dealing with, I feel like it's like structure or advice or something like that. I enjoy the secure base I have made for myself and my loved ones. This is kind of saying, you know, take some time out right now to enjoy your home and be grateful for your home, your family, the roof over your head, stuff like that. This is feeling like, you know, this could have been just a little crazy. It's not really saying going anywhere necessarily, but getting your heart and and mind all on board with kind of sitting in your home. And a home buddy to me doesn't just mean physical home, you guys. It also means the secure base you have for yourself, that secure place within yourself where you can do this kind of work, where you can look at yourself honestly, without judgment, without all that, and just really gain the lessons and look at any triggers or any patterns or behaviors that you kind of are looking back at now and wishing you would have chose a different direction or something like that. Now that you can't go back, all you can do is just do the reflection now and be mindful of that in the future. That is what I'm getting. All right, so let's go ahead and get one of these. And secure base you've made for you and your loved ones. So, you know, if you do have a family or whatever, it's just, you know, putting a little energy, time, effort into your home, your family right now. Let's get this. Nourishment. You are being asked to take time out for self-care, and that is what this home buddy is. So it's after the storm, after some kind of rough shakeup in some circumstances, or maybe even, like I said, maybe not feeling good about maybe some choices you've made, or just the way you maybe didn't take a different direction or a different route. And saying just now, nourish yourself, be understanding with yourself, look into yourself, take time to be grateful for your home and self-care, self-love, because it feels like a kind of recuperation time. This could have been intense. And now it's just like putting yourself back together, body, mind, spirit, because something could have really like, even if you had made a plan to stop doing something or just head in a new direction and that fell apart, or you just went back to the same old whatever behavior, habit, it could be anything. It could throw you off. It could make you feel like, man, I lied to myself. I don't feel good about it, whatever that is. So now it's saying take time to nourish yourself, Aries. If you fell into old patterns or behaviors, it happens, especially when we're trying to grow. But when we recognize it, we can change it. And that is the beauty. So let's get one of these Kali cards for you guys. Kuru Kola. To receive your divine inheritance of blessings and support for sacred fulfillment, certain karmic conditions that resonate at a lower frequency need to be cleared. Kurakola signifies a time of rapid movement on your path. That is this Chariot, you guys. Rapid movement on your path. Something's happening fast. A fast realization or a needing to realize something here about changing the kind of the direction you're going. Whether this is energetically, communication-wise, or physically. It could mean any of those or all of those. It signifies a time of rapid movement on your path and freedom to attract what you want and need. Let go of that which does not belong in your world. Release and you shall receive. Yeah, so it's really releasing some old patterned behaviors. These can come from our childhood, these fears, these anxieties, these vulnerabilities, or these just ways we communicate that just aren't serving us. It's saying release those. There's some karma here being cleared, you guys, in its rapid movement forward into a more balanced, organized emotional state for you. Yeah, release and you shall receive. So you got to release kind of, and this could be a control issue with the father here. This could be control over a situation, or maybe that's why it's hard to take advice, because now you've taken control over your life from maybe an over authoritative figure, or maybe you didn't have authority when you were a child and now you are, you need structure, but you aren't used to it. So it's a rejection of that. So that is interesting. Let's go ahead and read the After the Storm. Yeah, sometimes we just got to realize, like, a lot of this stuff is stuff we're trying to heal and look at honestly within ourselves that stem from childhood. And, you know, it's not our parents' fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's just the way it is. And we're meant to work through these things so we can become stronger and more grounded and just more balanced people. There's a thunderstorm about. It is either headed your way or just passing through now. Don't make a thunderstorm mean more than what it is. I was feeling that, like maybe you took something from more than what it was. I was getting that. You don't have to fear it. You might even feel excitement about it. After all, a thunderstorm is just nature's way of gathering energy together that needs to be released. So if something's building, or you have felt something building up, like, oh, this needs changed, or I need to change this, or you feel something picking up pace, like something's happening really fast, it could be like, oh, it could be excitement. It could just be like that anxiety before shift and change, really big shift and change happens, which is good. With a release of tension, relief and freedom soon follow, often with a fresh perspective and perhaps the gift of a promising, hopeful vision for your future. And I was seeing that vision for the future with the trail of sparks on the bottom. This could be a new And then look, the little fox, which is also known as the trickster, underneath. So there could be something here kind of feeling tricky, or like, oh man, that was like you tricked yourself, or somebody else like tricked you, but it's like not like that. It's like meant to grow you, and I don't mean like trick, but like it's just like you almost feel like fooled by like, oh, I thought this was this, but it's really not this. And this could be what you've recently dealt with or what you're dealing with now, and just to see beyond like that. It's kind of an illusion, because like sometimes this trickster energy makes us feel really excited or scared for something, and it's kind of the opposite. So or it's covered, or it's hidden, and it's because of something else completely almost unrelated but very important to us, if that makes sense. It says perhaps a particular storm building within you or around you is causing you to quake in your boots. It might be a storm of building emotions, threatening to erupt or already exploding, seemingly beyond your conscious control. You might feel an uncomfortable sense of emotional or psychological pressure within, and if something doesn't happen, and soon, you fear you might just burst. You may also sense that these are forces operating beyond your control, and you would be right. Yeah, that's that trickster, and it's like, oh, you gotta get this done now. And it's like, whoa, hold on. There's something happening here that's like absolutely out of my control, and I don't really have to do anything except for just stay focused on my goal, stay focused on what I'm trying to achieve here. And sometimes it can push us into even making choices and decisions that kind of go against our grain, because we feel like rushed or pressured by what? The universe sometimes just has those ways of putting energy around us or within us, and it's just like, oh, this isn't as important, or this isn't as dramatic as I made it, or it feels like this feels like I gotta get this done now, today, and it doesn't, logically. But that emotional like feeling of like, oh, that drive is there. So that's really powerful energy, and it's good to work through that with a simple strategy, organization, goals, recognizing if you have that pattern of behavior of just kind of jumping the gun or leaving a situation before it's even done before anything's even done, or jumping into a situation before you've even evaluated it. This all can be 7 of air or 7 of swords energy. Whew. It says, there will be precious moments of peace beforehand, and the release and revitalization that follows. Yet the storm in the middle is essential. It is a natural part of the creative process. Without this building and releasing of energy, we would suffer from boredom and stagnancy. You may prefer the excitement of the storm, or the fresh, open feeling that accompanies its clearing. You may find it comforting to be faced with the power of something in which you can only participate rather than control. I am feeling that control. Releasing control right now could be a challenge for you if you are trying to hold on to control and structure and foundation, because something's being shifted here, and it's good. That's why I'd say, and just like be grateful for your home base, stay within, nourish yourself right now. There's nothing a whole lot you can do, and to try would be almost self-sabotaging is what I'm getting. It says sometimes the pressures that fuel the storms of our lives have been building up for a long time. Without us being fully aware of it, it might be pressure from our own minds, creating unnecessary burdens upon us, such as burdens of fear and self-doubt. And those are the 7 of swords energy, the 7 of wings. It's like we undo ourselves when we don't need to. We change something about ourselves when we don't need to. We leave a situation when we don't need to, and there's still something there to offer, or vice versa. We aren't getting into something because we're scared, or we have fears, or we don't think we can. Those self-doubt, it's just... it's taking on way more than you need to. Simplify it and just come down to one clear truth and understanding with yourself between your heart and your head, and stick with that truth. Sometimes the pressure is little more than an impossible dream of perfection, and a need to gently, or even with the great dynamic flourish, cast that aside so that you can dare to be what you are and create from your heart. If you can't sense the storm yet, this oracle is a portent for you. The storm is coming, and you can, if you wish, feel the beautiful, exhilarating gift of it, as you are empowered to cast aside what has been and receive the gift of a fresh new take on things. Your confidence is to remain intact. Whatever is happening or soon will happen in your life, this storm of sorts is transformational and supportive of your growth. It is going to clear away cobwebs and free you, open you to new creative energy in life. Remember, there can be no rainbows without a little rain. This oracle is also confirmation that if you've been praying for help, your prayers have been heard, and the great creative intelligence of our universe is responding to you, stepping in and shaking things up so that the situation can be sorted out according to the greater wisdom. So let it go. Hold only to your inner self and allow everything to be cleansed in the sacred storm. Now, I'm going back to a place in my life where I was having big, big issues and relationship stuff. And it's like, I really thought it was the end, okay? And it was kind of. There was a detachment, there was a falling away, there was a departation of ways, and a departation of my normal habits of me always trying to fix things, or always trying to smooth the water, to hold on to something, to stay in control of my relationship over my whatever. And I just let go. I just surrendered and said, you know, if somebody's not for me, or this isn't for me, it's not for me. And it still is. Everything is for you. And some things look like they're leaving, but they're really just it's a separation time for reevaluation. And other people need this too, just as much as we do. So they may come back, the job may come back, the opportunity may come back, but it will come back different. And that's what I have found in my own experience, you guys. And it's really interesting the way that plays out. And that's kind of that trickster energy too. It's like, oh, you know, if I let go of this, or I change my ways, this ain't gonna work. This is never gonna work. I have to make this work, or I have to do this. And Spirit saying, you don't have to do any of this. This extra, whether this is it feels like dramatic. It feels like some drama. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It just feels very like intense. Whatever this has been, or maybe is, or could be. And if it's not, it's not. But if it is, maintain a simple, in control of only you. You can't control the things around you right now. Things are happening for a reason. This trickster energy comes in to work on other people too, and it tricks us into thinking we aren't going to, that we aren't benefiting, or we can't gain something from it, or what's the use of this? And there is, you know, and it's kind of just centering yourself and being able to see that, looking for that. Oh, it says, let go, hold only to your inner self, and allow everything to be cleansed in the sacred storm. This could be a cleansing of things around you, the job, the partner, the whatever, the relationship, the family relationship, whatever this is. Something's feeling out of your control, and it's saying let go and let the storm clear up the energy here, and you take care of yourself, nurture yourself. Don't get all down in the dumps. That trickster energy can trick us into thinking, you know, and not just thinking, just feeling really bad, or vice versa, feeling really good over something that's just, it's in the middle. It's not neither here nor there. It's just kind of a neutral cleansing. It's a neutralizing is what I'm feeling, like a neutralization of a situation. That's what I'm getting. All right, you guys, so that is your guys' reading. It's a very interesting reading. And then on the bottom, we got sagacity. The vigilant seldom have regret. Sticking to something, maybe not darting out on something, maybe not giving up on something that you are maybe contemplating. Sticking with something and just being considerate, caution, and discerning with what's going on around you. Being mindful of what's happening, but not really letting it suck you in. Stay focused on you, your mind, your heart, and what you want. And if you're making different choices, or you need to make different choices, and get out of old patterns or behaviors or responses, especially emotional responses, now's a good time to think about that, Aries. So this, and especially around control, or your own control, or others trying to control you when they could be trying to advise you. You'll know the difference. That's why it says use caution and discernment. So that is what I'm getting for your guys' reading, you guys. Thank you for coming by and watching your reading. I appreciate it. As always, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.